Hi guys, welcome to another Road Pilgrim video, and today we have something special for you because we aren't really doing a review today. We are actually doing some sort of a preview of the new Q8 e-tron from Audi. And for some of you who might know, this car isn't entirely new per se, in a sense where it's actually sort of a rebrand of the original Audi e-tron SUV that we saw from a couple of years ago. It has now been rebranded as the Q8 e-tron. But it's not just naming conventions that have changed. There have actually been some upgrades and improvements done to the car, and we'll go through some of those improvements as well. There's also been a few minor differences or improvements made to the design, so we'll walk you through the car, show you a little bit of those the key things that have been changed and updated. Without any further ado, let's go check out the car. Alright, so what you see in front of you is actually a Q8 e-tron 50, which is the sort of the base model, and this is in a very lovely Cosmo grey color. I'll jump straight into the differences. So on the front fascia, there has actually been a redesign of the sort of the grille. It is now all blacked out instead of the previous generation, which saw a little bit of a chrome background. And the Q8 e-tron is also the first car where this new Audi logo is going to be applied. And of course, all future Audis will also have this new two-dimensional logo. I think a lot of the brands are actually modernizing their logos nowadays and making them a little bit more sleek, a little bit more modern. Down the side, you will also see that the Audi Q8 e-tron Quattro name of the car is actually now put on the B pillar of the car, and this is also a convention that's going to continue according to Audi, and this is going to be put on all future models as well. Not entirely a new function, but I just thought I'd show you the charging ports of the e-tron because I think they're very cool. They're one of the coolest in the market actually. You press the button and it's automatically actuated, which is very nice, very classy. So I'm going to do a bit of a walk around the car, and then you can take a look at the entire car. So although this is a Q8 e-tron 50, Audi have decided to just put the Q8 at the back here, and there is no longer the power rating or the sub-model name that's going to be put on the car. So I think a lot of people have been very confused with that particular naming convention, you know, what is 50, what's 55. So Audi have done away with that as well. So this is the exterior of the car. When we do get the actual car for test drive, and we are likely going to be driving this very same car again very soon, but today we've just been granted a 2-hour sort of a sneak preview of the car, so we're going to be driving this car around for 2 hours, get our initial thoughts on it. So I won't really be doing a cabin review per se, but I'm gonna go take it for a drive and just share with you some of the key things, or actually there's just one key thing about the car that needs to be said. So without any further ado, let's jump into that and let's go. Right, so now we are up on the roads in the Audi Q8 e-tron 50, and I must admit it has been a while since I last drove an Audi e-tron. And I think the last time we drove the Audi e-tron SUV, the original one, that was also probably a couple of years ago. So this is all coming back to me now, and generally speaking, this is a extremely sensible car. And I mean, with all electric cars, you've got a very nice, smooth and quiet drivetrain. I don't think that's really such a differentiation point between electric cars anymore. But nonetheless, the overall feel of the Q8 e-tron is one that feels very premium. The car is extremely well built, and you can kind of feel that in the chassis, in a sense where everything feels very plush. I think one of the key things is that insulation is excellent, and I think that will make it extremely comfortable for use as a family car, or when you're heading up to Malaysia on longer trips. I think the quality of the insulation and the build quality of Audis will definitely shine through in such a situation. Now, talking about longer trips and road trips up to Malaysia, one of the things that I remember very distinctly about the older range of e-trons was that it was not so good in terms of range. Of course, it had a range rating of about 400 over kilometers, but in real world that really translates to only about 300-ish kilometers on a single charge. And I think that was probably quite normal for electric cars in that generation. I mean, we have been into electric cars for quite some time now. We have been talking about it for quite some time. So naturally, there has been, I mean, there must be some sort of improvement or some sort of advancement in terms of range and power utilization, right? So anyway, the old car used to have about 400 plus kilometers of range. I think the highlight of this new Q8 e-tron 50 is that Audi have increased the range of the car by 40%, such that you get about 600 kilometers of range on a single charge now, which is very impressive for a car that is this size. And when I say this size, I don't mean that the car is humongous or anything, but it is a pretty sizable vehicle, and a vehicle that packs quite a bit of weight as well. So in the Q8 e-tron 50, the battery pack should be about 90-ish kilowatt hours, and that would mean that there is quite a sizable battery pack in this car, which I would assume means that the car is actually relatively heavy. But even with that, Audi have somehow managed to increase the range of this car to 600 kilometers. Of course, you know, realistically speaking, we're not really expecting the car to go 600 kilometers. I think that's a little bit of a stretch, especially also because being in this car, you do feel the need or the urge to be a bit more heavy-footed, just because the car glides so wonderfully and runs so smoothly. But I think in reality, we're probably expecting about 500 over kilometers of range, and if we can probably squeeze out about 550 kilometers of range, then I think that would actually make a very compelling case for this car already. Because truthfully, I think when we were driving the old e-tron sportback, which had a triple motor, I think when we were gunning it up the expressways in Malaysia, I think we probably achieved only about 280, 290 kilometers of range. So that is this is a huge step up. And of course, this isn't a triple motor, monster of a car, but it's still plenty quick. It will still do 0 to 100 in under 5 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. Truth be told, we haven't actually dived deep into the specs of the car, but 600 kilometers. If you don't take anything else away from this video today, there is one thing that you should remember, which is that the new Q8 e-tron 50 should do 600 kilometers on a single charge. So, I think the biggest question on everybody's minds is when does it go on sale and how much? And while we don't have exact figures and an exact date yet, Audi says that this Q8 e-tron should go on sale by this month. This month meaning July 2023, somewhere in this month. It should start going on sale in Singapore. And the price is expected to come in at around $400,000. Which I know some of you are thinking, wow, so expensive, but think about it. For 400,000 or in that vicinity, your current options are actually the Lexus RZ or the Mercedes-Benz EQC. Now, arguably, those two cars sort of sit at a segment that's below the Q8 if you think about it, because if you compare the petrol-powered Audi Q8 against say the other brands, I think you would kind of feel that the Q8 is kind of like the pinnacle of the SUV range, whereas the RZ is kind of like a mid-sized car comparable to a BRZ, and the EQC is hardly the top range car because there is also there are much larger models in the Mercedes lineup. But yes, before I forget, this price segment will also allow you to get something like an EQE. So those three cars are essentially. And I think if you were to line all of them up together, I think it's quite clear to say that the Q8 e-tron probably packs the most amount of value if you think about how much car you're getting and how much vehicle you're actually getting with that amount of money. I think it's actually quite encouraging. So is $400,000 a lot of money? Yes, but is $400,000 gonna get you anything better in this segment? I think probably not. It does feel like at this current moment, based on what's in the market, unless there are some new developments with the other brands, I would say that $400,000 for the Q8 e-tron is probably the new benchmark of what is worthwhile. So, as I've shared, we will be getting these test cars very soon in the coming weeks for a full review, and I think I will share more of my thoughts then. But in the meantime, if you have enjoyed this video and you want to see more videos like that, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel, because we've got new videos coming out every single week. So it would, I would really appreciate the support, and it would be really nice to have you guys with us on those videos as well. Now, on a side note, if you are thinking about selling your car in Singapore, please do check out the link in our description box below. There is a link there through which you can actually get the highest valuation and quote for your car, or we can also help you to consign your car for sale. So the quotation is completely free. There are no obligations, no transaction fees, no hidden fees. So there's really no harm in getting an additional quote from us if you are already getting quotes from other people. If not, as usual, please stay safe, take care of yourself, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.